Hi.
And we're live. G'day, friends and fans. I'm the author, David Applegate, author of the book, The Boyhood of Cade, book one of the Empire of Elves, and welcome to my channel. Before I begin, I'd like to remind you that this channel is sponsored by people like you, the viewing audience. So after the show, check out the links in the description. And guess what, people? I'm giving you a discount on stuff. So become a patron, get a bigger discount. But, well, actually, I haven't posted the link yet. I will be posting the link soon.
Plus,
But
just
the
buy
discount,
us stuff. It's good.
yeah, buy me stuff, right? I got books, coffee mugs, and stuff.
Yeah, just
But
buy us
yeah,
stuff. It's good.
yeah. So today with me, as you can tell, is Darryl Anderson, and he's the author of
Pendragon Rising.
Pendragon Rising. I'm having a stutter day today, I think. Darryl, please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Darryl Anderson. I'm a weird as hell. Um, People have described me as a bit crazy, but the best way to describe me is I wrote a big ass book. It's got Merlin in it. It's got the Pendragon in it. It's got his mom in it. It's got everybody. But I wrote a big ass book.
Yeah. Now, Arthur, son of Pendragon, was a Roman centurion, according to some historians.
Well, he was 4th century. So
Yep.
yes, he was. This is actually he's been born again. He's
Yeah.
So the best way to explain it is the Pendragon's been born again, and he's supposed to save all of the universes.
Yeah.
There's several, but he doesn't know how to do it. So he's got to figure out how to do this.
Yeah. And Mullane was the head druid at the time.
Yes, Merlin,
Yeah.
and he's still in the book. He's
He is still in the book.
I use his original name, but yeah, he's still in the book. He's the main. The best way to describe it is Merlin or Merlin is
Mullane, yeah.
he's the guy that is the guide.
Yeah, he was the guy who basically, without Arthur, there is no. Without Merlin, there is no Arthur.
Exactly. There's no Arthur without Merlin.
Yeah,
and in this one, he's not sure he picked the right guy.
Yeah.
He finds out he did.
Everyone. He trained Anakin.
yeah. He's not sure, and neither is the guy, Jason, who's the hero of the story. He's not sure he's the right guy. None of them are. So he's got to figure out if he's the right guy and what he's got to do.
So let's roll back a bit. When did you realize you wanted to be a writer?
When I was 6 years old.
Yeah, that early.
Honestly, yes. When I was 6 years old, I started writing. I wrote shit stories. I mean, they weren't good, but when I was 6, that's when I started writing.
Here's the thing. I haven't told many people this, and unfortunately, when I moved, I lost a lot of stuff because I had to downsize.
Yeah, that happened.
I wrote a story when I was young about a boy who sets off and he meets the wanderer in the desert. And here's the irony. If you look at the third Mad Max movie, it starts off with the boy going off to...
I'm going to tell you right now that what you're telling me is... Hold on a second. My wife wants my key.
Yeah.
1 second. Oh, right there. Anyway, what you're telling me is a story I wrote.
Yeah.
Because I wrote a story a long time ago about a guy who was famous, but not I'm trying to think. Hold on, give me a second. I apologize. So a guy came to his village in Africa, and when the guy came to talk to him, they started talking, and he learned to read really, really, really quick. He learned all the stuff that we need really, really, really quick. He was the guy who saved us. So in the story, the guy, the hero, was the guy who basically cured cancer, cured everything. So he's the guy, and as the other hero of the story brings him to life, you realize that at the end he was dreaming. There was no hero in the story. He didn't save everybody. He was just a dream. That's the kind of weird shit I do.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff, because it was just a dream is actually rarely used these days.
Yeah.
Pendragon Rising, you want to tell us more about it? Is this your latest book?
Okay, so Pendragon Rising is it's my climactic book. It's the one that I like. So to start, so in Pendragon Rising, you got a kid from Oregon, USA. And I know you're Australian. But you got a kid from Oregon, USA, who is treated to education by his teacher, Mr. Everton, who is actually Merlin. So he's brought into the fold of Pendragon, and this is kind of funny. In the first scene with him, Bigfoot throws a deer at him because the Bigfoot's offering him a deer as he is the master. So he gives him the deer. There's little things like that all the way through it. Whereas the Jason, the hero, is actually, he's the main, the way to explain it. Hold on. Give me a second. Jason is the hero. He's the, damn it, I can't think of the word. But either way, he's the main guy. He can, and I'm going to give away a little bit, so I apologize. So if you want, ignore this next part if you want.
Big spoiler alert.
Yeah. So Jason is the universe. He's everything. And you feel that as you go through the book. He's the dust. He's the dirt. He's everything. that you think of when you think of the universe.
Now, Pendragon actually is Welsh. It means chief dragon, although earlier
Or first
iterations,
dragon.
it was firstborn, and
Yep.
dragon was actually a word for a particular warrior. That if you achieved like a certain age, a certain prestige,
And actually,
certain
the
skill.
weird part was that it was a bear. You achieved that through being the bear, which I never understood, but it works.
Well, see, I'm not sure if it was 9 or whatever, but the different sections of Wales would basically be fighting over the middle every high season. Basically, the height of summer for that whole month, just all the warriors would just basically descend on the Central Highlands, and basically the winners would pick the bones of the warriors for their gold, their silver, etc. Yeah,
I use this in my book, but they're ogres. The ogres, every summer, the ogres meet to have. No, okay. I'm going to basically say it. They meet to have sex.
Well, yeah, they did that too. A lot of that's where camp followers started. The warriors would bring their women.
I just use it with the ogres.
Yeah.
And the trolls, my trolls are a little weird too. They are not. They're not neutral. They tend to lean toward whoever they think is best.
Yeah, sounds trollish to me.
Yeah,
or in Japan, you would say very owning of them.
Yes, very much. You know what? And I gotta say this because I'm happy about it. I got compared to Tolkien.
Cool.
Yeah. that to me is.
I've been compared to modern manga, and people have.
Oh, you've been compared to manga.
Yeah.
Well, good job.
Good job indeed. It's great when people see your inspiration.
I've had a few people look at the book. Like I said, it's 800 pages, so it's a long ass book. But everybody who looked at it loved it, and to me that feels good.
Yeah. Now, prepare. What's your process? What's your process like? How do you prepare?
Okay, so my process is weird. I go to sleep at night, and my characters come to me in my sleep and tell me what I got to write.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm. You've heard me on Twitter and on several things saying I'm insane. Well, this is why I think that, because I go to sleep and I wake up with a story.
No, it's not insane. When I go to sleep, I hit the running prompts. I go, right, this is what I want. I got Cade in studio. Go, Cade. Tell me what you're up to. Tell me what you are doing in the studio today.
I get chewed out for. I get chewed out by my characters because I left something out.
Yeah.
They're little bastards.
Well, I got this. Cade's my main character. Here's the product of genetic engineering, magic manipulation.
All right, I like him.
Well, see, Cade's the grandson of the founder of the empire, and he's a trillionaire. So
he's a trillionaire.
trillionaires, when they're going to have kids, is going to like, yeah, I'm going to drop a couple of dimes on some genetic engineering, and by dimes at that level, we're talking billions.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I'll tell you right now,
Yeah,
I have that. There are a couple casinos that I worked at.
yeah.
Let's just say I worked at them, and I have information on them, and they're screwed.
Yeah.
But
well,
I will say this so far. I like you.
Thank you. Well, see, Cade, he runs casinos, man. So when people come in and drop money, he's just saying, I'm a winner.
I'm the guy who told him how he won.
Yeah.
That was my job. I went, no, he did this, and that's how he won.
Mm-hmm. Pick a winner. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody's got to win eventually.
Yeah. Now you can do it statistically, or you can cheat. And if you cheat, you're going to be spotted.
Well, if you cheat, that's where I came in.
Yeah.
If you cheated, that's where I came in, and yeah, it was not bad. That was not good.
That's part of his education. Growing up is taught how to spot a cheat, a liar, a con artist, etc. I mean,
I was a cheat when I was young. I was bad.
bottom decks.
Well, my parents were farmers and agriculture, but when I went out, I tended to take things. I'll be honest, and I'll tell you right now, one thing about me, I'm going to be honest with you the whole time. But yeah, I stole things when I was a kid because I didn't have things.
Yeah, I grew up in a neighborhood with kids like that.
Yeah, it happens. But I did use it. I did use it to lean kids toward the other side. So I've been a think of the word. I've been talking to kids since I was 7 to help them out.
Now, you wrote a huge ass book, so that took a lot of research, or
yeah, it did take a lot of research.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of research did you do for your book?
Okay, so the research I did is I dug deep into the Arthurian legend. I found that there are 2 swords, not just one, because everybody always thinks that Excalibur is the sword, but there are 2 swords.
Yeah, it's the sword he used. Excalibur was on display.
Yeah, Clarent was the other sword that made him king.
Yeah, he had a sword that he inherited a sword, and he used that
and
a lot.
In my book, Clarent is sentient and he fights on his own. He will take control of the Pendragon's hand and just start fighting. But when I look at it with your question, the Lady of the Lake doesn't exist in my book. She is a dragon. The whole trying to get him the sword is the book 2, because he's in book 2 he's trying to get the sword because the sword told him you need to get this, because in book 1 the sword told him, yeah, you're screwed. So he has to get Excalibur before he can do anything.
Well, that was part of the hero's journey is actually based on Arthur.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. Obi-Wan was
The
based on
hero's
Merlin.
journey is actually a archetype,
Yeah, it's
which I stole.
yeah, which was although
I'll
it's
admit that I stole it.
the modernization of it is credited, but the original is taken straight out of Arthurian legend.
Yeah, and
boy who became
honestly, it's taken from Arthurian legend, but if you go back further, it's taken from biblical. They take the stories from Arthur straight out of biblical stuff. So I stole from the Bible.
Yeah, the version of Arthur we know was modernized.
Yes.
In about 600-700 AD.
Well, where I went was 400 AD.
That would have been the early. Been the early friars.
Yes. That's kind of why I went there. But yes, I agree that if you look at the Arthurian legends, they go anywhere from 400 to 700, depending on who's writing.
But when the Franciscans were writing it, they also translated the Duna from which it originally came.
Yes.
Now, for those who've read the Duna,
I've read it.
Good luck to them. Yep. Good luck to them if they find an English version that is not. It is. You have
it's hard to read. It's hard to read.
You have Arthur, Dunana, Fionn. You have many archetypes in there.
Yes, I do.
One thing that most don't understand, and I picked up on very quickly. Duana came to Ireland. She was the one who led the invasion of the Celts from Spain to Ireland.
Yes, she did.
So she's the bad guy, everybody.
I'm trying to think of her name. She became Boudica.
No, she is the bad guy.
Well, Boudica became the good guy depending on who you listen to. But
that's right.
I think in Roman literature, she became Boudica. Yeah. And she became a bad guy, but she wasn't really a bad guy.
No, but she fled the Romans. She led the Celts to Ireland.
Yes, she did.
She became a bad guy and enslaved the elves, which was the name for the native Irish. Yeah.
And the elves are a weird thing for the Irish because my elves are weird, but they're closer to the original elves of the Irish than the Irish had.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Mine are almost my aliens are almost alien.
Yeah.
They have white eyes. They're white skinned. They're weird, but I wanted them weird.
Yeah, I've been to Huns. There's over 100,000 of them across Europe. Elves were the name given by the Caucasians, aka the Celts, as they spread across Europe.
And they were also so they had a different spelling, but the elves were also in the Viking.
Nordic?
They were, the Nordic traditions, but they were spelt different.
There's elves, dragons, ogres, orcs,
all of them,
and many others.
Now,
Japan.
I will tell you this: I left orcs out of my story.
Well,
because orcs, in my opinion, were developed by Tolkien, and I don't want to steal from him.
But he stole from the Legend of Orcus.
Oh, he did. Oh, he definitely did.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. So all my goblins are goblins. I don't have any orcs.
I have orcs, goblins, etc., but they're not. My orcs are the ancestral Austrians. That's the
Austrians.
Yes.
I like that. Mine are my goblins are just okay. So if you look at orcs, my goblins are orcs.
So they have names like Von Wesley. you
Yeah.
know, they're proud,
They got
strong people.
mine have tusks.
Yeah.
The Great, who's my leader of the goblins, which this is something you'll enjoy. Great, I didn't mean to, but he became a god. He is the son of a god. He wears the armor of his dad. He can't be hit by arrows. I mean, he's got all this stuff, but it was not until I started writing him that he showed up. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like him.
For now, Mike Aid, he's a cult leader. He goes by the divine ancestry, emperor. So he's therefore divine.
So he's divine.
Yes. And he takes that quite literally, and he's also demonically possessed.
My main bad guy is demonic. I'll admit that right now.
Yeah.
For you. He is the essence of sorry, my head's not working right. The guy that the little kid.
Right.
I'm trying to think of him. The little kid that Arthur fought.
No, you got me.
Oh, he's the one that killed Arthur. But anyway, he's in it.
Granted, he killed Arthur?
Yeah, he killed Arthur. He's Morgana's kid.
God with Morgana.
Morgana's kid.
Yes, but he fathered.
Yes, Morgana's in the second book, by the way. So what I did, I pulled everybody I could from history.
Yeah.
Until I had, so I have Galahad, but it's not really his name. He's a child of a god. I have Merlin, his name is different, but he's Merlin. I have Morgana, who's going to be Morgana, but she's twisted. I got Merlin, who's twisted. So I've got all these guys from history. I just gotta pull them in.
Yeah, I have a character I'm in development that slowly developing. I haven't revealed Crow yet. She's the bad guy, but she's not always the bad guy. She's like Bucana. She's not. My
Morgana is somewhat nice and somewhat evil. Yeah. So yeah, I get that.
Crow starts off under another name, and she's captured by the enemy. She's tortured for information, and she becomes Crow.
All right, so let me tell you real quick.
Yeah.
Jason is my hero. He's the Pendragon. He is everything. His mom got killed in the first book.
Right.
His girlfriend in the second book is hired to kill him, and his mom finds out. So Jason's mom is now she's basically torturing his girlfriend.
Yeah. Mm.
I saw you sit back.
Yeah. So Crow gets captured by the enemy. She becomes a rebel leader, and she repeats the cycle of the
Nice.
previous attempt by the Dark Elves to destroy the Empire thousands of years ago. And so, but again, she betrays the rebels, brings down the Dark Elves, but she becomes this sort of on and off again bad guy,
And almost a queen
as well.
Right? Almost a queen.
Well, I can't reveal. It'd be a huge spoiler who she really is. But yeah, you're getting close. Yeah,
Yeah.
She has a relationship with Cade. I'll say that. And of
All
course,
right. I won't ask you to reveal anything.
Yeah, because the reveal is like, I haven't finished the fourth book, and she's in the fifth. She is the fifth book, and her reveal is in the sixth book. So
here's what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah,
I'm crazy. We know that. Would you like to talk about my book, or would you like to talk about my life? Because both are weird.
Okay, so I think this is where you're drawing inspiration from. Your book, your life experiences, and your dreams. Now, I am I'm of the opinion that all writers have multiple personalities. That's how we create our characters.
I believe so, yes.
That's how we create our characters.
Or how the characters create us. Either way.
Yeah. I hate people's reactions when you say, well, the characters are voiced in my head, and they start backing off. Well,
no. I honestly, I'll tell you right now.
People should be more accepting.
My head is full of voices. I fully admit that. When I was 7, I punched a bull. When I was 8, I punched another bull. When I was 10, I punched a bear. I'm weird.
Growing up, I actually helped raise a bull.
There you go.
I had
35 bulls.
I buried the poor bastard, Charlie. He was a good lad. Actually, he was a valuable breeder too. Polyhereford, tick immune. He had he was an A+ bull.
Yeah, that's a hard one. My dad, when we sold ours, we sold like 45 of them.
Yeah,
but it was because we were moving out of state. We were going somewhere.
Yeah, we were going to go places, but he died prematurely from a.
Okay. So this might be part of your story. I'll tell you right now that my story is varied and long, but so with Billy, and I put my phone down for a second, but with Billy, he jumped out of our wagon where we were going to put all the bulls.
Yeah.
He killed their dog. So we had to replace their dog because Billy was quite territorial.
Yeah, so was Charlie. But when he was young, he was a jumper. But when he got old, he's tried to jump. He still thought he could jump fences, and he'd slam into them. And he injured himself multiple times, and eventually got himself a stomach parasite.
Matt Major did that too. He would go through fences.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
160 pounds. He
yeah,
was
when he
big.
was big, when Charlie got big enough, he stopped jumping fences and went through them. But
He would just go through them. And I had to talk to our neighbor. By the way, I'm back. I had to talk to our neighbor and explain to him that this is my dog. He tried to kill my dog. And all right, I got revenge.
Well, that's one way of dealing with stress.
Yeah, I got revenge. And that's kind of where I go with, when I'm talking. Like I said, this is my first interview. I'm kind of creepy at times.
We all got stresses. We all got dark sides. We all got.
I'm actually pretty okay.
Most of the time, we're all okay. Most of the time, it's
we have instances.
To manage.
Yeah, exactly. We have instances, so I don't worry about that. I gotta fix my laptop later because apparently my epoxy rolled over, but.
It's all right. Now,
so what would you like to talk about?
Well, we've covered most of your inspirations. I mean, you've actually read some probably well read, which is always
everybody who's read it. Everybody who's read it said it was good.
No, I mean books. You got to.
Oh, I am well read. I read a lot.
Yeah.
I can't help.
Your favorite author?
My favorite author is actually okay. So my favorite author is Piers Anthony, but a close second is I'll think of it. Hold on. Tolkien. So Piers Anthony, but a close second is Tolkien.
Right. I was introduced to Tolkien at an early age, but another one is
Tolkien
Fleming.
Tolkien was the first book I ever read.
His in-depth description.
Well, and he was the first book I ever read.
Well, Dr. Seuss.
It was the first book I ever read, which I chose to read,
Cat and Hat,
was The Lord of the Rings. So yeah, he's one of my heroes. Now,
quite a remarkable writer.
Oh, he was an amazing writer. I
was going to say, you heard of Methodist.
Stand some of the stuff he wrote.
Yeah,
because some of the stuff he wrote is bad, but I can't stand some of the stuff I wrote.
No, but he wrote bad well. Yeah. If you look at his notes and that, he wrote, even when he was doing off the cuff, it was still glorious prose for absolute nonsensical stories.
Yeah. Like The Tale of the Farmer. It makes no sense. It's a great book. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I write stuff like that. I write stuff that makes no sense. Unfortunately, I have to put some of my stuff on Twitter so that they can see it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I put it on Twitter, it's limited to so many characters. So I have to put it, I have to put it that way.
Oh, could you imagine Tolkien on Twitter? Plus. And that's my tweet. That's just my first tweet. Yeah, that's just my first tweet.
Oh, hold on. I was going to tell you about this.
Yeah. And then I'm going to have a debate. And then I'm going to go back to Merry and Pippin. And, oh, by the way, did you know they were cousins? And they're debating whether or not they should get married. But the insinuation is they've already done it.
All right.
And
I like you.
And I think I think what most people are missing, why would they be debating this? Because I think Pippin's pregnant. You wouldn't be debating getting married with somebody if you hadn't done the deed and she's pregnant, right? Why would you be debating getting married if she wasn't pregnant?
Well,
that's how brilliant Tolkien is, because he never actually said it.
He never says a word. And like even her gem, the gem that he just mentions it. He doesn't say it. He lets you build on your own. And I love that.
Yeah, he just basically, you get the imagination, right? That when they were young, he gave her this necklace and it stuck with her. And then she gave him her virginity. And then a few years later, they're having a debate whether or not they should get married. So you think all that time, oh, I get it.
I think the part that I love most about it was when he told them they will never bow to another man again. That to me spoke volumes.
Absolutely. It gives you life, death, betrayal, love. I mean, Tolkien,
it was him saying, I am not above you. And I use that in my book. So you know, in my book, they all bow to Jason. And Jason stands up and says, no, stand up. Everybody, stand up. Nobody will bow to me again. Because he doesn't want them to bow to him.
I have a similar situation, like where Cade is trying.
I like that.
He just does the usual formal bow. He doesn't make, he exchanges bows. Somebody bows to him, he bows back. He's very very humble.
Jason,
very
my Jason bows to everybody, but allows nobody to bow to him.
Well, it's his customs and traditions, you see. He's raised in a society where people bow to each other all the time as a greeting. So that's what he does growing up. He's the prince who became emperor. And as emperor, he's still the prince,
And I think in mine, Jason refuses the prince, if that makes sense. He's the guy, but he also says, no, I'm not the guy.
Yeah.
So he puts things ahead of him.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does, because Cade is like, it's 10,000 years since they've left Earth. They've totally rewritten society so many times that even thinking about ancient Earth and their ancient customs, it's like how primitive, and pomp and ceremony is there's not a lot of, it's ostentatious to them, but it's not, but by glorious standards today, it's not the glory of Rome with lots of gold chalices and dancing girls and stuff like that, but there's still an air of decadence, a still an air of pomp and ceremony, but it's very, it's when he holds a parade, it's, I invite others,
So let me add this real quick.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to talk to me, you can.
Right.
Because I like you.
Thank you. I like you too. You're a fun guy, real fun guy.
But so your hero
Yeah.
is involved in the landscape or no?
Well, he's actually his clan Terraform Worlds.
Okay. So
but
yeah,
his
he is. He's the guy that terraforms.
yeah but his grandfather told him to always have a skill, so he learnt to make shoes.
Oh, I like that. No, that's
It's the
good.
most humbling. Yeah, it's the most humbling. Getting down and yeah,
Well,
getting into
my
somebody's
grandfather
feet.
told me the same thing, and I had to do it. So I like that.
But
That one's a good one.
yeah, and he makes shoes for people. That's his. If he likes you, he'll make you shoes.
Well, and I would put in there that he made the best freaking shoes around.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to just make shoes. He makes the good shoes.
Yeah, that's it. He became he threw himself into it, became the best. I mean,
So
he made this computer. It was the best computer ever. It was a micro quantum computer. But his grandfather says, yes, but do you have a life skill? Because you're not going to you've invented this one thing, but it's a one thing which goes to mass production. It's not a life skill.
Well, and when I was young, and this is for your podcast, I had to learn how to shoot not a quail, but basically a quail with a head that bobbed up and down all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had to learn to shoot it in the head.
Right.
So I get what you're saying. What I'm getting at is sometimes people have, kids have to learn skills of their parents.
Yeah. Learn a skill. That, it's an amazing bit of life advice that a lot of people haven't done, But what about writing? What would you say to a new writer?
Let's see. Hold on. For one, for a new writer, ignore all the shit that you hear. Pay attention to what you're feeling. Does that make sense?
It does.
Because what writers tend to do, and me included, is what we tend to do is we write what we see instead of what we feel.
We get the bad. When we get bad periods of bad writing, it's because they try to say, because you get the editors or producers saying, we want a book about X, and it has to have X tropes, and it has to have X characters, and that's when you get bad writing because they now
because
have to
now you're doing a set, instead of doing instead of writing what you see or what you feel, you're writing what they told you to.
Yeah, it's homework. We all know how we feel about homework.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really bad at homework. I actually was really good at homework. I'll be honest.
I was the thing I excelled at was excelled at English and chemistry. I
was really good at math, science.
I was okay with maths. I was really good with chemistry though. It was English.
Oh, chemistry I was good at.
I used to be very good at prose.
The
Not so good
best thing
anymore.
I was at, the best thing I was good at is forgive me.
Yeah.
A platform on the desk that let me let me draw anything I wanted.
Oh yes, I know what you mean. I did technical drawing.
Yeah, that.
I forget.
Sorry,
Okay, you had a
I
T
can't.
square. Okay, I forget the name of the board. I used to have it a T square perspective
Oh,
drawing.
the T square was great.
Hold it down. No, but this one you could hold it down, move it up and down the board, and then when you release it, it would stand still. But
Yes,
it had a angle arm which you could press down on and bring it across, and it had the standard 30, 45, 90, but it also had the 5-degree steps in between. So you
and
could,
when you push down on it, it held.
yeah, it stayed
It held
in
its
place.
spot.
Yeah.
I love that thing. So you get what I'm saying.
I do. I used to have a precision compass, and for people to say, "Why would you spend $100 on a compass?" If you had this compass, you would spend $100 on it.
Because you have that compass.
Yeah, this is a German engineered compass. When you
Okay,
set it
hold on.
to
Hold on.
9.5 degrees, it's 9.5 degrees on a precision measurement.
Hold on.
Yep.
When you say German engineered, you don't have to stop.
Yes. This compass was German engineered, and so, and anybody who knows about these compasses, you would say, "So you've got
All
one
right.
for $100? That's a bargain." I'm
Yeah,
talking about
Morgan,
today.
I'm done.
A
I'm
bargain
done.
for a German engineered compass. Yeah, sold.
So,
Stop. You had me a German engineered.
yeah. Um, so one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is you said we could talk for 15 minutes or an hour.
Yeah,
I'm really good at talking for an hour.
we're almost there.
So just so you know, I'm
Yeah,
good
we're
at that.
almost there. Mm-hmm.
All right, we're good at that.
Yeah. Now, how do you deal with the stress?
I don't stress anymore. Honestly, I now have no stress.
A lot of people, when they get to that point in writing, I believe they've managed it to the point where it's automatic.
Yeah, it is. And
Put into
with me, it comes to the point of my people. Okay, so I say my people, my characters talk to me all the time. And
Absolutely.
sometimes they talk to me in my sleep. They just railroad me and talk to me. But I have to at that point say, okay, let's listen, and I listen to them.
Yeah.
So
Right now,
it didn't really affect me.
right now, or I have Crow. She wants a certain pair of boots. She wants a certain look, so that
Yeah.
when you see her, you
So
would go,
real quick,
"That's Crow."
real
Yes.
quick, she wants boots that are black. She wants boots that have uh the words I'm
Spiked
thinking
toe,
of. What?
the spiked toe, the spiked heels,
Oh, she
above the
got the
knee.
spike toe and spike heel, but I'm talking
Yeah,
the the
the pattern,
the the button, the things that close.
the side clasps,
Yes, she wants those.
and their beaks. They're claw. There's a beak. It's like a claw and a beak, basically. You know.
Yes. Yes. She wants those. Get those.
Absolutely. And that's what she's getting.
Get those for her.
But when people see her in her jacket, they will know that she is Crow, and they will fear.
And now, real quick, her jacket. Yes. I have to ask: is her jacket long? Is her jacket basically? Is her jacket? Oh, I'll think of it. Detective. It's not working. The guy who's a detective of everything.
Sherlock Holmes?
More than that.
Trying to think. There you got me.
I'll think of him. I'll think of him. Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah. He's the detective from Old English. He's not the detective we think of. Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
That was who I was thinking of. Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. He had a he had a 3/4 coat.
Yeah. A 3/4 coat. He's got the whole head. It was him.
And he had the cape. He had the what they call the cape shoulders on his coat.
And the thing he had that nobody realizes is that he had the
monk's hood underneath.
Oh, he had the pensive coat.
Yeah. He could reach in and pull the monk's hood over, yes.
Yeah. Nobody realized that. He had the coat.
Mm-hmm. That's how he with what's his name? Hound of the Baskervilles. There was a lot of insinuation there that he was the man in the cloak.
Yeah.
That Watson saw.
Watson.
Yes, Watson saw the man in the cloak. That was. I always
one of the things that nobody ever remembers is Watson was the guy who
did most of the solving.
He was the guy who saved Sherlock Holmes because he told everybody, no, you can't have that because the gap's too large, or so it was not Sherlock Holmes. It was the other guy I mentioned. Watson. Yes. Watson was the savior of it.
Yeah, Watson saved Holmes. Holmes stumbled around while Watson did all the work.
Yeah.
But Holmes would come to the conclusions based on their findings. I mean,
Watson was freaking amazing. But
story.
Yes, it was.
Without each other, they were useless. It was a very good, well put together story. And as some said, the murders were too good not to have been real at some point.
Well, yeah, they were.
They were very good mysteries that read straight out of the headlines of Victorian England. But they were written before.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So I need you to build my story. Right. How are we doing on that?
All right. What do you need? Where are we at?
Well, we're at building. The best way I explain it, we're about 10 degrees of my stepdaughter.
So you have a question, or you have an idea that isn't quite finished?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
My granddaughter has the ability, it's the best way to explain it. She has the ability to destroy everything.
So the idea is to make sure she doesn't without harm.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we want her to not destroy everything.
But at the same time, you don't want to get us to the point where she's so spoiled, she realizes that she could use the threat of destruction.
Well, here's what I want to go. I want her to have the shield, have the ability of raising the shield and saying, "No, I'm done." But with the shield raised, I want her to have the ability to take everything else.
Okay. She has to go on a journey of self-discovery through the darkness, through the inner, basically,
I'm with you every way, man.
you've got the round boat of the Celts, right?
Yes.
And she's standing on the shore with the round boat, and she's preparing for a journey. She has seen a vision of an island in the mist in the Hebrides. She wants to find the island, so she gets into the boat to follow the ancestral tides, to bounce around, and in this she stumbles into the void, into the darkness, and she confronts the darkness. And along the ways of the various trials of confronting the shadows of the darkness, she learns to focus her power not as a hammer, but as a shield to protect herself. And when she emerges from the darkness, she has wrestled from the chief of the in the darkness, the ones that I mean. She has fought the darkness.
I get everything you mean, man.
She's been dragged into the darkness. She has come out, and she's emerged from the water on the shores, and she has this shield. She's wrestled it from the darkness, and she basically, by the time everybody catches up to her, thinking, "Oh, she's been lost at sea," we thought you drowned. What's the shield? And was it black?
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Her shield is not pointed. It's not flat. It's pointed.
Mm.
She has a shield that is just pointy as fuck.
Right.
I'm with you.
Now this is okay. This is known as the medieval shield. It's the one with the long point on the single arm.
Okay, so
and when you stand it in front of you, it's just got the.
Mine's different. Mine's twisted. Yeah. So
yeah,
up here, it comes out and makes an axe.
Yeah, but see, when you're looking at the medieval shield from the front, the warrior's holding it up like this, and they can see past just over. It's like this. They could just see over the top, and from the side, you can.
So we're with that. So I want a point.
So the edges are it has the axe edge, that round where it comes down to the round. That's an axe head. And then it comes to the point, and that's the tip of a spear. So when it's held up like that,
tip of a spear, and forgive me, this is what.
So the top is that if the top could stab, could protect the body, stab with the point, hack with the slash, but stand behind her, stab.
You have
4 directions
exactly my statement.
And when you
That's
draw
great.
It's an axe. It's an axe shield.
It's an axe shield.
There's a point on the head, but when she holds it here on her arm, on the base
is a rounded tip, so you could pound with a rounded tip.
Yeah, the pound. Yeah, but she can turn around and pound, bang, straight through the door.
Yeah, you have everything. You have everything, man.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And she basically has forged it from the ruins of the axe and shield and helm of the Dark Warrior, who basically lured her in through her dreams to enter the realm of darkness, basically trying to drown her at sea, and she's on the island and she's got this bloody mess.
But I'm going to stop you.
Yep.
I'm going to stop you because I got a better idea.
You got a better idea? Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be about this long. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. It's going to be about that long. And it's going to be shaped like a point, which combines to a shield. That's it.
More simplistic design.
Yeah, a very simplistic design.
But highly functional.
I hope so.
Very good, sir. Very good.
And, so let's go with the the visuals of me and you.
Mm-hmm. Where do you want to begin?
Wherever you want. I honestly, I'm
open for a weekly chat.
I'm open.
I'm open for a weekly chat.
Yeah, I'm open. So whatever you want.
Yeah. So I'm working on a story, and at the moment, Cade's still in his wild sowing oats phase. He's discovered he has powers, and he's trying to develop those powers, and he's trying to build himself a coven of witches, because having that coven gives him power to draw. And so he's building that coven, and once he has that coven, his vision is basically he wants to expand the empire to to basically a new height, a new beginning, a rebirth of the empire, to build these glorious castles in the sky. Basically huge floating cities. He wants to really go all out. But throughout his youth, he's been growing up with tales of this growing darkness. There's this growing darkness. It's coming for us. It's coming for us. So this is his preparation to build this glory. But in the back of his mind, he knows, like, the ancient city. He wants to recover it. It's in ruins. That's his end goal, right? He needs to take on. He understands the darkness. He wants to take on the darkness and take back the ancient city from thousands of years ago, right? I mean, millions of years ago, he discovers, right? But the timeline of the empire and many things don't add up, and he's actually realizing. So this is the story I'm building with, and he's got to face many challenges along the way, because the darkness just won't roll over, and hand back ancient power that they've accumulated over time, basically. That's where I'm at. Cade is in the early phases of his life. He's still young, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to believe in ancient prophecies, although he starts to realize what prophecies really are.
Right. Well, I want to rebut to you, and I like everything you're saying. I just got to find ways.
Yeah. See, one of the things is, and this is my challenge with my writing, is that I'm thinking books ahead, and I'm writing a chapter a month.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
For writers out there, I'm sure that they're walking along, they've got their best character on their arm, and they're going, "Things are fine, baby. Things are fine." And then another character walks past, and they go, "Hey there, how are you doing?"
Well, I'll
But
tell you right now.
Yeah.
Every time I have a character walk by, it's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Every time.
Yeah. So so at the moment I've got characters coming in and coming out, coming in, coming out, and like it's a real cast herd to manage. And like, I know modern audiences, they like their Frodo and their Han Solo, and they want to latch onto one character with a couple of sidekicks. But the thing is, and I'm telling you this as a way of telling the audience, if you limit yourself to 4 characters, you've just limited yourself to 4 stories.
Very true.
Okay.
So let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you limit yourself to 4 characters, you limit yourself. That's it. You limit yourself.
If you think about how this is why the MCU has done well, because they've taken a set of characters, worked with them, and did what you did. At the end, throw them away and work with another set, and then work with another set. The problem is they've worked too many at once. They should have done it.
Yeah, they did.
Should have done one a year, one set a year. Work with 3 characters, bang. That's their movie. That's their whole year.
And that's the thing of they got expanders.
It's like a Sunday roast, man. You don't have it every day.
Well, it's the thing they got to do is just experience.
Less is
That's it.
more. Yeah. And I mean, I've read long series before. I mean, come on, I've read Bleach. Okay, it's like 28 manga, got hundreds of characters, and it's better than most. I mean, there's a reason why it's sold over 100 million copies. People, it's bigger than. It's one of the biggest out there, right? One Piece has over 176 main characters, and it has if you
Can,
Detective
can,
Conan. These are reasons why these
can I,
manga
can I
do
actually
well.
add?
Go ahead.
Because you were amazing.
Yeah. If become well read and become well. You don't have to become well versed in what you've read, but become well read. And as a writer, it will come through because you're actually learning techniques as you
Yeah.
read.
Yes,
You're
you
learning
are.
techniques as you read. How to introduce and reintroduce characters, read a manga. You want to learn how to manage a large cast, read a large manga because it has the larger the
That's the
manga,
thing.
the larger the cast.
Yeah, that's
Greenland,
the thing is
Bleach, Naruto,
read
all of them.
bigger. Read bigger.
Yeah, yeah. Read bigger, read more. Be more diverse in your reading. I
That's
particularly
I want
fantasy.
to do that,
Yeah.
and I want you to do that with me.
I have read Agatha Christie, James Bond. I've read Agatha Christie, Ian Fleming. I've read manga. I've read various comic books. I read Doctor Strange before it was cool. All right, I was a kid when I read Doctor Strange. I understood. I understood. I've read. I've read. Trying to think of its name. I wish I had a copy. It was called I think it was called Monster, and it was like a comedy with Frankenstein, but it wasn't called Frankenstein. But they had, it was like the Addams Family, but not the Addams Family. You know what I mean? It was a
Yeah, I do.
I think it was Keystone Comics. I think it was Keystone Comics. I can't. It was English, so it was lots of comedy, lots of parodies of characters. I think Frankenstein was just Frank. You know, you imagine a monster and his name's Frank.
That's the thing I like about this is we have time.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hopefully, with how about when you're not writing? What do you do when you're not writing?
Oh,
I gather you.
that's it. That's a bitch conversation. When I'm not writing, I write. I definitely do. I write. When I'm not writing, I write. Women are partial. Does that make sense?
That's fine, because me, I look. My favorite game of all time is Doom, and I recently bought the Doom pack because for a long time I it was a bad habit with me, and I actually lost my copy of Doom. All right. So I didn't
You
have it
lost
for a
your
long
copy
time.
of Dune?
The original copy of Doom. Doom. I had the video. I had the original Doom on, the little disc, and for a long time it was on. And yeah, I mean, I love that game. I
You
played it to
lost
death,
it.
and I think somebody saw it, knew what it was. Box set Doom, Ultimate Doom, you know, Ultimate Diablo 2. I had the Diablo box set 2 with the book, the big thick book, not the cheap one they got
Yeah, but
today.
yeah, the good one.
I'm talking about collector's set with a number. I had bought the last one. I had the last one that was made. And
So
it was sick.
I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
my God, you were the dude.
I played Doom and Diablo 2 until I had with Doom. I could do the first 8 in my sleep, and now it's like, oh, wait a minute, I it's scrambled, I'm not as fast, but I still could do the tactical turn, come around the corner, bang, bang, straight on, all open the door, got the minigun ready, bang, roll them over before, as soon as they unveil before the pack breaks up, just put in that arc, and it's teaching me to focus. It's how I focus. It's how I because a lot of stories you read, the gunplay, the gore, the action. This is why people read comics, because there's so much missing in a book that is in a comic. But I can't draw it, so I've got to describe it. So Doom is the best way for me to do that. But another one, Diablo. It's a good long Diablo 2 is a good long story. It's just got everything. If you're dealing with fantasy monsters or fantasy, it's just there for people to focus, and it helps me focus my stories, which, if that makes sense. Any final thoughts before we go? Darryl? Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Final thoughts before we go.
So what do you need?
Well, getting late. So, any final thoughts? Tell people, Pendragon Rising, go grab a coffee.
All right. So I guess you know what? I'm not too.
All right. Give me a moment to
So-
think.
Here's what I was thinking. How about we build the dedicated
Okay. Well, it's been great talking to you.
Yes.
I hope everybody's got some ideas now running through their heads, because I certainly have some. And Darryl's links are in the description below, along with mine. So Amazon and Barnes & Noble. These are physical and digital, or just physical? Digital.
Yeah, just physical.
Just physical, sorry. Yeah. So there we go, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming, Darryl. It's been great talking to you. Keep in touch.
I love you guys.
So thanks everybody for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Links are in the description below. Of course, buy Darryl's book. And thank you everybody for coming.